Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jasleen here with Crushinator, the WildHeart Community Competition Coordinator, the latest addition to the WildHeart admin team to bring you this week's Wild Report, a weekly show where we recap all of the hottest Heroes of the Storm news, tea, and everything in between. How are you doing today, Crush?
Hey Jazzy, I'm doing great. Excited to be here on the Wild Report to fill in for Salvaje this week. Let's get right into it. This was definitely an interesting weekend for CCL. On Saturday, we had Granite Gaming taking on Storm Esports in a competitive 3-1 outcome for Storm, looking like they got their fire back after the Memorial Weekend break. We love to see it. We saw a tweet from Lauber of Storm Esports saying, "Played good today, got a W, nice."
Up next, we had WildHeart Esports face off against Diamond Hands. With Diamond Hands coming into the series 3-0, we are ready for these two teams to turn up the heat as we get closer to the end of the regular season. For this series, we had Roger, a WildHeart Omega alumni, playing as the second DPS role as Mason Blaze filled in for the healer role. And apparently, last week's loss brought a new fire to WildHeart as they came into the series swinging. Viewers and players alike came into the series expecting an even matchup, with Diamond Hands placing WildHeart right below them in their power ranking predictions. However, WildHeart dominated in a 3-0 sweep to surprise everyone. Let's take a look at the highlights of the series.
Bahamut, you're absolutely right. Oh, hold that thought. That's nice staggering blow. That's not a big light bomb. Ogre trying to run away. He's blind. He's been blinded. Oh. Drag tongue misses just by a hair's breadth. And then the turnaround with the Blessed Shield. Roger wanted to jump in, but he couldn't because he got double rooted by Anduin. Caesar Salad is low. Sylvanas goes down also. Got Filth. Getting blocked there by Ivy Tings. What a furious battle here by WildHeart. He's instead going for the level 10 value. A small little bird charge tried to get leap. That leap is kind of strange. Sunberry to save Anubarak. Haben with the cocoon on Greymane. There's a wailing. Boss is still half-life. Hogan comes in with the flank with the shockwave. Caesar Salad trying to get away. He can't.
Unaverted tries to back away, but his mech is too big. He did not pilot that Jaeger correctly. We still have Lucio chasing onto Sonya, and he is unthreatened. It's Nintori that actually really needs to get away. Had to spear onto a minion.
Well, they want to turn this into a full best of 5 if they can help it, but not for now. Unaverted is getting attacked. Grenade! Bam! Ivy Tinks with the final blow. Stepping up, as really Jonna has no... Oh, there we go. There's the first bully of the Sonya.
And this is also what we were talking about. Oh no, the damage every time activate. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Got Nintori just trying to make something happen. Lands a drag. The cleanse out from the Rhaegar as well, as Gotfilth is sitting on a sliver of HP. Gets healed up, but can he back away? Caesar Salad trying to get out of here. The value of the Farseer's Blessing coming through. No control from Zergling. He's chasing in, looking at Hebi. Ibi gets the kill onto the Dahaka. And that is a lone Hebi.
WildHeart really bared their teeth here, and of course we can't not include a Diamond Hands meme in the Wild Report, so we were hit with this one. So, WildHeart were not so friendly after all. They hit us with that 0-3. Gotta heal our wounds and come back stronger than ever. GG's, see you next week, HeroesHearth Good game, Diamond Hands, and we can't wait to maybe see you guys in the finals. Crush, go ahead and take us away with the next series.
You got it. We moved to Sunday with Chili Mountain versus Simplicity. Chili Mountain looked dominant with a 3-0 over their struggling opponents. This was the first week we got to see Tiger JK in action, and Simplicity fans are hoping this roster shakeup can elevate the team in the standings. To cap off the weekend, we had another 3-0 victory, this time by 30k over Oxygen Esports. An unfortunate lobby reconnection bug in game number 1 stopped Oxygen's momentum. It seemed like they just couldn't find their footing against the streaking number 1 seed 30k. With CCL all wrapped up, let's move on to our Meet the Team segment with Jasleen and Mason Blaze. Check it out.
Hello and welcome to this week's Meet the Team segment. Joining me this week is the amazing Mason Blaze. How are you doing, Mason?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me.
I always like to start these interviews at the beginning. So what got you into HOTS and what's your Heroes of the Storm journey been like so far?
So, around when beta was, like 6 or 7 years ago, I don't remember exactly how, but I kind of just stumbled upon HOTS, probably on like an ad, or maybe it's because I was a WoW player, so it was just on the Battle.net app, and I remember just every night watching MF Time's HOTS videos, and he got me super like into it, simply because it had all of like the different HOTS, Blizzard heroes from especially WoW.
Yeah.
I essentially I remember I started off and I was like an AI only player, but I more just played it for the because there was like, oh, I could play like different wild characters, and over the course essentially I think just like one day I kind of played in a quick match group with a few players, and pretty much from that point onward I kind of just stuck with them, and then inevitably we created an NGS team together, which eventually formed into what I made We Take These, I believe. And yeah, ever since then I've been playing pretty much with a constant group of very high level players.
Are you're still friends with some of these players? Again, can you drop names on who you're talking about?
Yeah, I still talk to one of the players. His name is Tracer.
Okay.
He was like one of the first original people I played on a team with. I still talk to him every now and then. Sometimes he'll message me about how things are going in CCL and whatnot. And then the only other people I still play with are from that time is Tremor, and even Infrared doesn't really play HOTS anymore, but definitely Tremor. Tremor and Tracer are the two that I still talk to now and then.
All right. Okay. So you joined WildHeart in season 2 of CCL. That season you were the sub, I believe. What's the transition been like from season 2 to now?
So in season 2 I played now, and I think I played 2 matches. I played one regular season, I think one in the Gauntlet, if I'm not mistaken. I can't quite remember, but it's been a pretty easy transition because being on a team with, especially like Where Day and Zerg, since they were also on the main roster in season 2, since we kind of kept somewhat of a core roster, it's been super easy, and especially picking up Tremor as our tank in season 3. It was like I was just playing with my NGS team with like a sub, honestly, because I'm pretty sure that was our NGS team, just plus like Zergling and Slug.
What's your family think of you being a CCL player?
I think they're more of just like I'll say oh yeah I have something to do at this time, and then they'll pretty much just ask me if I won, and then if I say yes, they're happy. I don't think they really think much of it, other than they're happy when I win, and if I lose, it's like, oh, okay, they come next time.
So this past weekend in CCL, you actually had a role swap. You were playing healer because Weary Day couldn't make it. Was this a hard adjustment for you?
No, because in the past well, like when I started playing competitive HOTS, I was a healer, and I was a healer for a very long time.
Okay.
I pretty much played healer and range, I'd say equal amount over the course of the few years that I've been playing at a very high level. And as well as what helped was having that 2 weeks of scrims right after we lost the 30K. Instantly I was able to start practicing that sport, so I wasn't too rusty on it.
Would you ever consider actually permanently swapping to healer or another role outside of like flex DPS?
Yeah, for sure. I think I've always I've almost always just considered myself a healer player that just always is forced to flex to DPS, because everyone always thinks like, oh, Mason's so good at range, like you don't get to be a range player. But for me, for sure, I think support is the most fun role in my opinion. So if I could in a heartbeat, I would role swap to healer permanently.
Is there a role you can't play or you hate?
Yeah, tank. Tank has always been that one role where whenever I play it just feels like I'm helpless. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I int, and I think it has most thing to do with just not enough reps on it. I don't have enough practice. So yeah. Whenever I play it, I just feel completely outclassed.
Because I saw you play a lot of offlane during the NGS season, and you also looked good there. So I was like, can he do it all?
Yeah, I did. Sometimes I had to play offlane when, if just based off the roles that our teammates had, and offlane's a role where I can play offlane. It's just not like anything special. Like it's doable. Like I could probably role swap to it and be okay, but it's definitely nothing like to write home about. Like I'm not a god or anything.
Okay. Last season, you actually won an award in CCL for Best Play of the Season, where you leaping striked as Lunara over enemies to end the game solo.
It's a double leaping strike. She's going for it! She's gonna do it! Poison will take down the core! WildHeart 3-0s the members of Granite Gaming in one of the most insane...
Are there any moments from HOTS that stand out to you as much as this one, from your time playing with WildHeart or in NGS, wherever?
Yeah, I don't remember what season it was, but in NGS, when my NGS team won, we beat the Korean team with like a bunch of the super good Korean players like Tist and Hyde, and then I can't remember if that was the finals or or it was versus Exodia, but either way we beat both those teams, and it was probably it felt so good. Winning NGS, because I think we were like one of the only teams that could beat the Korean team. Like they were so good.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I was so happy when we won NGS. It was felt really good.
Now I've heard through the rumor mill that you really like to ARAM. What's so enjoyable to you about ARAMing?
So the way that I see it is, I don't like Storm League just because like I view Storm League as more of like, I don't want to. When I'm playing outside of scrims or matches, I don't necessarily like to try too hard. It's more of, I don't want to like exert myself too much, and I just view like pretty much any form of HOTS outside of scrims or matches as like just mechanical practice. And ARAM is just like mindless, endless mechanical practice. You know, it's just constantly hitting heroes, practicing my mechanics, and I don't have to think about it. So I kind of just like grabbing a group of random friends and just running it back. You know, ARAM after ARAM.
How many ARAMs do you get in on a week, like an average week?
I mean, I don't play every day. It's pretty much, I never like solo queue ARAM. It's always like, I always have to have a group of like at least a couple people, but I would say I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 30 to 40 ARAMs like over the course of a week. Sometimes way more if I play every day.
Oh, there you go. That's how you get to be a CCL player at his skill level. You just ARAM at least 40 games a week and you'll get there. All right, last question here, Mason. We're currently running WildHeart's running a campaign through the summer to encourage gamers to get out and touch some grass. You might have seen it, but you can use the hashtag WHTouchSomeGrass on Twitter and post a picture of yourself outside and have a chance to win a WildHeart t-shirt if you do that. And you can do it as many times as you want. One post equals one entry. So what's your favorite thing to do to get outside and get yourself touching some grass?
I would say probably just going outside, and I have a basketball net outside, so I sometimes just go out there and shoot some hoops with my brother.
Nice.
Which I don't do it very often. I mean, usually I'm inside, I guess. Like the most often I leave my house is simply just like go get groceries. So I guess, I don't know, does walking on grass count? Just like, getting to the car?
Walking to the car to get groceries.
That's touching grass for me.
Oh, maybe that'll change this summer. You want a WildHeart t-shirt? You could enter.
Yeah, actually, I probably will.
All right, well, we're going to wrap it up here, but thank you so much for joining us for this week's Meet the Team segment, and thank you, Mason, for sitting down to chat with me.
No problem.
Hopefully we can introduce a little more grass into Mason's life at the LAN this summer. Also, I think we forgot something, Jazzy. Happy belated birthday to Heroes of the Storm. The game is officially 7 years old. They grow up so fast, don't they? For WildHeart events this weekend, we have our movie night tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, with the movie being announced over on Salvaje's Twitter at Salvaje Gaming. And speaking of Twitter, we're currently running our online summer campaign, Touch Some Grass, where you could win a WildHeart t-shirt by tweeting us a picture of you outside and using the hashtag WHTouchSomeGrass. Every tweet will count as one entry, so the more time you spend outside, the better chance you have of winning a shirt. The campaign will end September 5th, 2022, and the winner being announced shortly thereafter.
Last but not least, the CCL LAN is quickly coming up. Be sure to RSVP for the WildHeart pre-game party that will be happening right before CCL weekend, August 4th at 7 p.m. EDT and 6 p.m. local time. You can RSVP right on the website at www.wildheartesports.com, link in the description below.
And with that, we wrap up this week's Wild Report. Be sure to catch WildHeart playing against Chili Mountain this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern over on Wisdom's channel, Grubby's channel, or Jazzeline's channel. All links will be in the description below. We'll see you all next time. Bye.